Welcome back to HPL, or the PvP Live Studios in Frisco, Texas. And Kaldi still a 2-1 lead here over Muzzy. Muzzy's got the next two in the bag, though. We know that.
I don't think so. I picked Kaldi to win this match. You picked Muzzy. Who did you pick to win this match? Get out there on Twitter and use that hashtag HPL. Let us know who you were supporting coming into this one and who you thought had the edge, how they were going to win this match. You can tag PvP Live in that tweet and also head over to Facebook, like and comment over there. We'll be checking out some of your opinions after the match. But gosh, Muzzy's got his work cut out for him, man. Kaldi looking beautiful in these games.
And this is what we talked about coming into this match. You know, Muzzy kind of goes all over the place and chooses a bunch of different classes, and I wanted to see him stick to just one going in here.
We're going to find out if that's what he's doing here. Kaldi versus Muzzy. Game number 4 is getting underway.
Yep, here we go. His 4th different deck in 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, he loves to switch it up, and you know, this is sort of something that I think he's been struggling with a lot, is exactly what strategies work best for him. But this is something in the line he's been winning a lot with. You know, Warlock, a very big talking point for him. I think he's been playing it very well, understands how to leverage his life total, and Kaldi willing to go to battle with that one as well. He's queued up Warlock.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen this a little bit earlier from Muzzy. I'm not trying to, like, you know, harp on Muzzy at all. It's just something we talked about. You know, when the 2 matches that he's won so far, he queued up the same deck the entire time. Yeah, in the other matchups, the 3 that he lost, he only got 1 win in those 3, and he queued up a bunch of different decks.
Yeah, so
what a great start here from Muzzy.
Great start from both of these guys, too. I mean, Twilight Drake and Mountain Giant in Kaldi's hand. But Flame Imp going to put a little bit of pressure on him, so we'll see how he adjusts to this.
Yeah, great turn 2 here, this Nerubian Egg. Just a great card in this matchup. You can hopefully trade up with it at some point. It's not really always the thing that's going to happen, but any of the sweepers leave behind a 4/4 body.
Yeah, that's one of the big things I think about this deck, is that it's very aggressive, but at the same time it's very resilient.
Love this play from Kaldi.
Yeah. He's being very aggressive with his Iron Beak, needs to make sure that he can put his opponent in situations where board clear is paramount for him. But Muzzy now, a bit of an opportunity to maybe take a little bit of an edge. You know, this Knife Juggler is going to get on board. The Abusive Sergeant may pick it off and he gets an extra point of damage. And if that doesn't happen, he's able to still use this Silenced Nerubian Egg.
Yeah, he's still going to get some value out of his Nerubian Egg this turn. You know, it's actually just going to get damage in.
Yeah, love that he's seeing the extra damage here, too. And Kaldi, a little bit on a back foot, but I believe that once the way he's committed to this play, that Twilight Drake may be something he needs to do.
You know, it's actually kind of important that it does actually stay in play. It is silenced, but you know, something like Defender of Argus later can actually, you know, re-give it. Yeah, Direwolf Alpha can give it some text again later, to where it's actually, you know, a meaningful minion in this matchup.
Ancient Watcher actually going to be a super important play here too, because he just picked up that Shadow Flame. I think Muzzy is liable to add a lot to this board and maybe get punished for it. You know, something he has to think about with Ancient Watcher is, what if he gets taunted? But at the same time, do you really want to run both of your minions into this? I think he has to push for damage.
Yeah, I think you have to push for damage, and I would just play the Imp Gang Boss here as well. If worse comes to worse and he kills all of your minions here, you at least are left behind with a 1/1 body.
That's exactly what's going to happen too. Boom! Shadow Flame going to wipe out 4 minions. Does wipe out his Ancient Watcher though. And look at that, the juggle going straight to the dome. And 1/1 Imp left on board, but he does have a Doom Guard to back this up. I think he's going to end up life tapping this turn and going with Knife Juggler to be Sergeant though.
Yeah, you got to believe he's going to hold on to this Doom Guard to really push through a ton of damage here later, because he still gets a good bit of damage here as well this turn. He gets in a full 4.
I think it's exactly what he's got to do. I mean, I love the way that he's actually played this game too. You can't keep playing around AoE spells. You have to do something to push the action. He doesn't have the liberty of waiting as long as he'd like to.
Yeah, adding this Implosion to his hand is going to be good too. If Kaldi does actually put a minion on the board, he's going to have this Implosion behind this Knife Juggler to get through a lot of extra damage.
Well, the other thing that's coming into consideration too here is that Kaldi doesn't have a way to taunt up in this position right now. So the fact that he's dropping down to 10, if he doesn't actually add a ton of pressure to this board or do something to supplement his life total, he's just dead.
Is Muzzy thinking about not attacking here because of something like Molten Giant?
I don't think that he can afford to wait at this point. That's exactly what he's thinking about.
Yeah, you have Implosion in your hand. If he does something like Molten Giant and taunts it up, you can just hope your Implosion is good enough to get you through.
I completely agree with this play as well. And Kaldi, I mean, you can see that he's nervous about this. He has no way to take care of this board right now, and he knows that something has to be done because a single Doom Guard will wipe him out.
Yeah, he needs to play an Ezekiel bot here, I think.
I think he's going to have to. You know, what other option does he have? You know, we also talk about players having to take risks at certain points too. Maybe he feels like he has to take a risk in this spot to get something done.
Yeah, it's really difficult here because, you know, Muzzy's going to turn with 6 mana. He's going to be able to draw an extra card if he doesn't have a way to kill him here, since he's got 6 power on the board, one of which is a Knife Juggler, and you're at 10.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is probably a turn that he has to take a risk in some way or another. Like, say he gets Emperor Thorson on the board and lives through the next turn, then he's got Twilight Drake and Defender of Argus the turn after that. And if he just plays Antique Healbot here, you know, something like Implosion, something like a couple of minions coming onto the board, a lot of things will add a lot of pressure behind that. But is the life worth the extra time? Is it a risk, or is he going to supplement? This is a very big turn for Kaldi.
Yeah, you're seeing him take his time here because he's trying to figure out what he can play around, what he can afford to, if he wants to actually progress his board, or just make the super safe play of Antique Healbot, and that's the way he's going to go.
Yeah, the safe excuse me, the safe play is going to keep him alive for this turn. Second Implosion gets added to hand, and now in Muzzy's spot, I have to believe Implosion is going to be one of his best plays here, and that life tap will bring him into that.
And this Implosion is going to be good no matter how many he gets, and he gets the full 4 here. He's going to get a ton of damage.
That's definitely one of the best ones. That's going to be 4 damage to face, plus 6 more for minions. I have to believe that when he sees no Molten Giant 2, he's going to be absolutely relentless. And now Kaldi with a full board of minions to deal with. And with Sludge Belcher, I don't think it's enough. Muzzy looks like he can push through anything that Kaldi's going to throw at him.
Yeah, he's got exactly enough to get through Sludge Belcher and the Slime afterwards with his Doom Guard.
It's beautiful stuff from him this game, and Kaldi been struggling the whole time. You know, he had these 2 Mountain Giants and he had the Twilight Drake, but he made other plays in this one. These have been stranded in his hand the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, he never got anything going early in the game. You know, he got that one Shadow Flame, but it wasn't enough. Muzzy had enough to rebuild after that. He had a great turn afterwards and got through just enough damage. I mean, after you Iron Beaked Owl on turn 2 and then a Ruby Egg, it was looking pretty good for Kaldi. It looked like he was going to be all right, but Muzzy's hand just, you know, played out so well.
Yeah, Kaldi even dropping the well played on him, and this is going to be more than enough damage for Muzzy. But, you know, we saw him make a little bit of a misstep earlier, too. He's going to have to do this right, but I think when he says the well played, he's spotted exactly what's going on here. Doomguard going to hit the board and then be able to chew through everything that's being thrown at him. Even gets the point of damage to face. Where the point of damage doesn't matter. It's just a matter of you know, going through the motions at this point. Muzzy going to tie up this series, though, and send it to a game number 5.
Told you Muzzy's got these next 2 in the bag.
Coming out swinging in this game, and Kaldi stranded with a handful of big threats in that one. That's really the power of some of these more resilient aggro decks, especially when you see them from the Warlock side of the board. Life Tap gives them that little bit of extra gas they need to make sure they can consistently find the right cards to make those pushes, and the relentless aggression from that. Love the way he played this game. A lot of people play around Molten Giants in those scenarios. Don't put their opponents down to those 10 life spots.
Make them have it.
Yeah. Got to make them have it in those scenarios. If they don't have it, you're paid off in spades. And when they do have it, you still have a chance to win those games.
Yeah, love this kind of deck from Muzzy. I'm a big fan of this deck. You get really aggressive and on the board early. And what you can do is when you play these 1, 2, 3, and 4 drops and they're always having to answer you, your life total doesn't get attacked by them. So later in the game, you can start drawing 2 cards a turn by life tapping every turn. And then you just get enough gas to finish them off if your deck works out the right way.
Yeah, just that little extra push is what you need. If you guys want to see exactly how this one was played out, you can head over to pvplive.net and see for yourself. Stats, breakdowns, recaps, everything you need to know about the strategies they've played in this series so far, and more importantly, how they've played them. You can also take a look at their competitive history. So they're once again making changes to their decks. They can play anything they want at any time. There's no way that they're restricted whatsoever. And when we come back, a 5th and final deciding game is going to figure out who's putting a win on the board and who's going home tonight with a loss. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.